Hi there, boys and girls. Today we are looking at the Tuttio ICT from Tuttio Sport. Basically, they're marketing this as a adult motorcycle, but if you notice, it has pedals. So we're going to kind of do a little walk around it here real quick because it's a beautiful bike. Very well done. Had a couple issues. It was basically on the front end only, and I'll kind of go over what I had to do. They were very minor. It took me about 2 hours and 15 minutes to assemble this out of the box, and I will tell you that T-handled Allen wrenches are very handy when you're working on these. So let me go ahead and zoom in on some of the things I really like. First off, I love the loud and proud statement here of what's going on with the emblem here in the back. That's really cool. The seat is nice. It's stylish. Okay. That is an air shock down there. I had to put some air into it because it was bottoming out. I did get it out for 3 miles yesterday in the snowstorm, and it's fast. I never got it up to full speed. So I'm going to kind of go over. The battery is kind of hidden in here, and it does come out. And boy, you thought it was close on the Adria 24 and the 26. Wait, this thing squeezes in by millimeters. It would be better if the front fender was on. I may trim that or something to make it if I take the battery in and out. The light was real good. A little hokey the way it goes in. I recommend taking these off first before you try to do those ones because there's just no room. The front end is beefy. I don't know if you can see these forks up in detail, but it is beefy. Very impressive. Big giant. And then it comes up to a real nice stem. Display is really nice and clear. I love this part over here with the way they've changed this. I'm still figuring it out. Guys, it has DOT 3 and 4 brakes on it. Sorry, DOT 3, DOT 4 brakes on it. They are amazing. They stop the bike instantaneously. Let me see, what else do I like here? The rear shock was good. Like I said, I had to add some air to it. The issues I had, let's go over those real quick. So, I have to turn this so you can see it. So, this brake line here was run through differently, and I've rerouted it, and then this thing was literally turned in towards the spokes, so when you compress the shock it literally threw this line right into the spokes and the rim. So I've rerouted all that to make it better. The other thing is this front fork guard here, and you can see where the brake was supposed to run or something. I don't know what it's supposed to do there. This is kind of weird. But you can see this is kind of flimsy and flops around. And what it was doing is it was hitting on this area right here. And so what I did is I went in with the grinder and I trimmed that out and then sanded it and made it look real nice so you can't even tell I tweaked it. But Tuttio Sport, if you're watching, this is a couple of things I had to fix. Your routing was bad on the front brake cable, and this guard, I know it's cheap plastic, but it was right into the brake drum, the brake disc. So again, beautiful bike. It's got some great lines. It's very interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off, and I'm gonna go get dressed and get my safety gear on because yesterday I hopped on this thing and was not expecting the power that I saw. I will tell you one thing right now, guys. If you buy one of these and you go to take off, be leaning forward. When they say electric motorcycle, this... So the Adria line, the 24s and the 26s, were kind of an in-between between electric bikes and electric motorcycles because of the wattage. You know, the Adria 24 had 2,000 front, 2,000 back. The 26 has 2,500 front and back. This is 4,000 just the back only. So it changes a lot. The front motor is kind of useless, and I could go into depth on that, but it has to do with climbing hills and cornering. I still love my Adria 24. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun to ride. I'm looking forward to seeing how this worked out. I got 3 miles in yesterday in the snow. It's crazy fast. I never got up to top speed, and I'm going to just say this right now. I love the way this thing sounds. It's like a little electric bumblebee. Okay, if you like the way the 125 like motorbikes sound with that kind of bumblebee type sound, this is very similar. I kind of hope it never changes this because it's really cool to hear this motor wind up. And what I mean by wind up is it's 2,000 watts NOM. That's the normal production, but it can peak out to 4,000. And I'll be honest, yesterday I never got it to peak. It was still accelerating at 36. But the snow was hitting me in the face so hard, I just kind of went, you know what, we'll try this tomorrow. So I'm going to attach some more video onto this, and we're going to get out and ride this thing, and we're going to do a top speed test today. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a range test, because tomorrow's going to be warmer, and it's up above 60, so we'll get a really good idea of how the battery handles nominal weather and not this damn Colorado fourth winter crap. So this is kind of the second maiden voyage of the Tuttio ICT from Tuttio Sport. I've had to do a couple changes. I just pulled this one over because it was kind of interfering with the steering when I rerouted that brake line there. So we're going to see if we can get this up to top speed today. So go ahead and boot this thing up. Let's see if we can tilt that a little more towards the camera so we can get it to read, so we can see the speed. I'm going to go ahead and just go up to PAS 5 because it really doesn't matter as far as takeoff. For those of you that aren't used to the Tuttio line, your PAS is kind of like a governor, the top speed, so it doesn't matter if you use the throttle or if you use the pedals. The PAS level kind of sets your speed limit. Which I kind of like because I use a riverfront bike path that's right off my house here, and we're going to hop on that here in a minute. And it has a speed limit of 20 miles an hour. So, not that I follow it, but it has a speed limit of 20 miles an hour. So, without further ado, if you didn't see the video that I posted yesterday of the takeoff, and you're used to your Adria 24, your Adria 26, your Seeker 24, your Seeker 26, all those other side variations, this thing has some power, and I advise you to lean forward when you take off because it goes. And by the way, if I didn't mention it, I love the sound of this bike. And I'm going to go ahead and do a full power takeoff here. So you saw that front end come up. Kind of had to hold it back because it really wanted to come up. But if you lean forward, it takes it out of there. So it's not too bad if you lean forward. Okay, the back's still a little soft. I need to put another, at least double the air in it. I hit that bump and almost bottomed out, so. And I don't think we actually topped out that motor. It was still climbing. Now bear in mind, I'm like 230 pounds on this thing. So, and it's got 20-inch wheels. Okay, if you're buying this for speed and whatnot, go get a Sur-Ron. Okay? Seriously. If you want to have some fun on a little 20-inch bike that's got serious power, you'd be all for this. So, this is our riverfront trail. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a left here and go over to Corn Lake. And then I'll come back by here going the other direction if all works out well. So here we go. So it definitely picks up faster than my Adria 24. Again, love that sound. And I mean, when you twist that thing, you feel the speed boost. Kind of hoping you can see the speedometer boost when you hear that motor kick in, but there's no delay like your Adria 24 and your Adria 26 have delays. This is like instantaneous. The geometry of this bike is so different from the Adria 24. I'm not used to my knees being up so high, and but what I do like is how high the handlebars are. I was going to have to put like a 3-inch riser on my Adria 24 to prevent some issues I was having with my wrist, but this is sweet. And again, I love the peppy. Kind of wish I had gone with this before the Adria 24, but I have 2 of them, so my wife and I can do some fun riding around and whatnot. So I'm going to take this into some dirt for a little bit. Don't know how the tire's doing dirt, so I'm going to find out. So I can say the suspension's better than the Adria 24, even with me needing to put more air in the back shocks. I didn't see any adjustability on the front forks, but they're so beefy, and I'm glad because you really need something to hold this bike, the front of it down. I mean, from a dead stop and even from a slow speed start, this thing just wants to go. I mean, the power is so much fun. It is more like a motorcycle than a bike. And it's funny, in my 3 miles yesterday, I actually came out here during the snowstorm, and in that 3 miles, I picked up a goat head, a sticker in the rear wheel, and normally that would have caused me some issues. So, but yeah, the tires are definitely more puncture proof than the Adria 24, because that goat head would have gone right through those Adria 24 tires. They're pretty thin, guys. I will say that. And the size, it makes it hard to get some, but I did find some real nice Adria 24 beefy tires from the Bike Smith. So I will put a link into the description there, and bear in mind, guys, I usually, I'm a miner. I own an amethyst mine in Colorado, so I'm not used to doing bike reviews and electric motorcycle reviews, so bear with me. But I kind of got these to access my mining claim because they have no fluids other than the brake fluid in them, and lubrication and whatnot. But they don't use fuel, and they don't use oil, and they don't use antifreeze, and they don't use transmission fluid and all the other things that could spill up at the mining claims. So that way I can keep it very environmentally friendly. So, but kind of wanted to give that guy ahead of me a little bit of a go ahead before I opened her back up again. And again, it's a lot of fun. One of the figures I'd hit somebody on the walking trail. And boy, like I said, she gets up and goes. Okay, I'm still showing 3 miles on the odometer, so that must be the trip odometer, and there's another odometer somewhere that I've got to either figure out how to get to or what here. So it's funny, we don't have 4 buttons like the Adria, we have 3 now, and that's basically just because you know, the programming's the same, you know, you get in it the same way. There's a few more parameters I might add as to how to make this thing respond. And but yeah, I still got to figure out a few things. There was one setting in here, auto cruise control, that if you stay at the same speed for like 4 seconds, it automatically sets cruise control. Yeah, that's real scary because it just kind of locks the throttle on. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and it locks it on. I actually had to really pull on the brake to get it to disengage. It didn't quite disengage real quick, so it was a little scary. I turned that off. Don't turn it on. I think it comes off, and I may have turned it on because I like the cruise control on these bikes. But I kind of wait until we get in an open section here. I'm going to see if I can get this thing out to full speed, and because I don't think I've hit top speed on this yet. Okay, well, it's 35. That was 35, and I caught up with that guy, so he's not the nicest character, but we'll go ahead and give him some leeway, and we'll pull off here, and we'll resume in just a minute when he gets to the other end of that. It's a good half-mile straightaway there, so I kind of want to hit that and see if I can get opened up on it. I'm going to come back down this way a little bit and get a good run into that straightaway. Like I said, I'd really like to see what I can get this up to. It was really hard in the snow yesterday, so. Alright. We're going to make a quick little turn around here, and we're going to open this baby up and see what she'll do. So I'm not fond of the color red, but I do like the red trim on this thing, and I'm going to go ahead and trim it out in red. So. Okay, I saw 41.5, so with me weighing, you know, the 230 pounds, being 6'2", big blocky profile on this bike, that was impressive. That was impressive. So the battery came down a bar, but it's right back up again. So it's obviously moved some the power forward in the battery. The battery on this weighs 16 pounds, 10 ounces. I was a little amazed that it was that light. The bike itself is heavy. It's this extreme. The compartment for the battery weighs a lot. It's not cheap aluminum. The welds are dynamite. I was looking at it as I was assembling it, and the welds are dynamite. I took some pictures of the bottom plate. This is what the bottom plate looks like. It's pretty impressive. So, but she picks right up. I mean, just you open up the throttle, and like I said, you better be leaning forward a little bit. And like I said, pretty impressive. Okay, bugs in the face. It just screams. The braking is so smooth. Those, dot 3, dot 4 brakes make a ton of difference.
Get around.
I do. Wow. Don't know if you can hear me, but there's amazing coast and glide on this bike when you let off the acceleration. And it's so nice to be able to take off from a dead stop so fast. So my first impression of the Tuttio ICT, marketed as an adult electric motorcycle, but it has pedals. And I did this on purpose because I have that really cool riverfront trail that you saw. I can literally go from Palisade all the way to Moab, Utah without ever going through a stoplight or anything like that. Never have to cross a highway or a street. So it's kind of cool. It's from my house to Moab, it's 165 miles. And you go up 12,000 feet in elevation and you drop down 12,000 feet in elevation. So way cool. I do need to put some more air in that rear shock, but as you can see, we have plenty of reservoir to do that. And you kind of have to mess with those when you put air in them anyways, because there's like a two-way baffle system in there. So it takes a while for the air to get through the baffle system and whatnot. But I'm going to kind of leave it alone for a while. I'm going to try to get it out tonight and see what it's like with the headlight and the tail light and things like that. I may have to get an all-new cockpit system because the handlebars are much different than the Adria 24. So, but that's okay. I can get something like red or something. And I'll be honest, I'm already looking at customizing these out with some red caps here, possibly some red covers on the DOT brakes if I can find them. This is a pretty common brake, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. And that's one last thing I want to mention about these things. They're actually using generic parts on these. You know, we've got the Shimeko shifter up here. Okay, we've got the Shimeko derailleur back here. You know, we're running standard dual piston brakes. And like I said, the brakes on this thing were insanity. And so those were really, really nice. So again, a little more tweaking out to do with the air shock. And again, I'm going to go put the GoPro away because I still got my helmet on. I'm going back out riding, guys. Have a good day.